What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and my next YouTube video. The NBA playoffs are upon us. That means there's a lot of money to be made, a lot of potential out there. In this video, I'm going to be going over 4 teams in the East and 6 teams in the West that I think have the best buying potential while the playoffs are going on, some of the best investments that you can make during the playoffs. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, what is going on? The NBA playoffs are here, they are back. It's been 4 or 5 months now since the hiatus started, and now the NBA playoffs are finally here. In this video, I'm going to be going over some of the best player prospects, some of the best team prospects while the playoffs are going on, so that you guys can make some of the best investment choices. Disclaimer before we get started, I truly believe that if you're investing in any sports card, basketball, baseball, football, whatever, you need to invest in players that you believe in, teams that you believe in. So in this video, I'm going to go over my process and how I kind of think through who I should invest in. Typically what I'll do is I'll find a team that I want to invest in first, a team that I think is going to do well in an upcoming series, a team that's going to perform very, very well, and then I'll pick players from that team. I don't just look for specific players. I typically go to the teams first, because the better a team is doing, the more popular that team is going to be, and the more light that's going to be shown on the player. So that's typically how I go about things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight a couple teams from the East, a couple teams from the West. I'm going to break down some different players on those teams that you could probably be looking out for. And I'm also going to give you guys some good examples. You don't always have to go for just the Prism rookie cards. You don't even always have to just go for rookie cards. I have some different optic cards and just some different regular Panini cards that are not Prism cards that I can show you guys that can be great investment alternatives to Prism rookie cards if those are a little bit out of your budget. But just because I bring certain players up, certain teams up, and just because I don't bring other players up and other teams up, that does not mean you should invest just in the ones that I'm bringing up or not invest in the ones that I don't bring up. You guys need to do your own research and invest in who you believe in. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with the East. I'm going to show you guys kind of the cards that I have going into the playoffs. For the East, we have 4 teams, and we're going to start with the Milwaukee Bucks. The 2 players that I think you guys need to watch out for are the top 2 players on the team. I think you need to watch out for Giannis, and I think you need to watch out for Chris Middleton. I think for Giannis, he has 2 cards that you could really easily invest in. If you have a really big budget to play with, I think you should really look at his first-year Prism. Right now, his first-year Prism is looking at $1,200 to $2,000 ungraded. It's a pretty large margin, but anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 was I was seeing on eBay sales, and they're going for $6,750 graded as a PSA 10. So that's a pretty big budget for his first-year Prism. Another card, and something that I've been collecting for a while now, is the second-year Prism, his 2014 Prism. These are going for around $150 to $200 raw, and they're going for about $700 as a PSA 10. So either go for the raws and grade them, buy just the raws and flip them as they are, buy the PSA 10s, buy the PSA 9s, and then flip those once they increase in value. Another player to look out for is Chris Middleton. Right now, Chris Middleton's Prism cards are going for $100, give or take. I think maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, just depending on the seller. And right around $800 as a PSA 10, which is a pretty large margin, so that's a great investment in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, we're going to go over the Miami Heat. I think the Heat have so much potential, so many different players to invest in, whether you have a large budget or a small budget. First on the list is Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler's a little bit overlooked. Right now his Prism rookies are going for $100 raw, give or take again, and they're going for about $650 as a 10. Next player, someone that I've been collecting for a long time as well, Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is an absolute stud. His Prism rookies are going for $25 to $30 each raw, and they're going for about $500 as a 10, which I think is an absolutely insane margin. He is a great investment in my opinion. Another one, I don't have the statistics or the numbers on his, but Tyler Hero. He's been a great rookie. He's been a great role player for them. I think his role is going to continue to increase throughout the playoffs. And if the Heat do anything special, I think all three of those guys' prices are going to increase heavily. Next on the list, we're going to go over the Raptors. No one's talking about the Raptors. Everyone thinks they won the championship because of Kawhi. But I think they're poised to make a great run this year, if not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals or even maybe the Finals. Someone that no one is really talking about is Pascal Siakam. His Prism rookies are going for $100 each right now, ungraded, and they're going for up to $700 graded as a 10 right now. Great buy. Another one is Kyle Lowry. I don't have his statistics either. I think he had a Topps rookie way back when, but I think he's very overlooked, which also means he might not be a great investment because people aren't talking about him. Great investments are players that are popular, players that people are talking about all the time, but those are 2 players from the Raptors that you could look into. Last on the list from the East, we have the Celtics. I have both Prism rookies of Jason Tatum and Optic rookies of Jason Tatum. Right now, his Prisms are going for about $200 each ungraded, And they're going for about 900 to 950 graded as a 10. I just got a bunch of those back from PSAs. You saw in my last video. I still have a bunch of his raws ungraded, and I think that he is an absolute great buy. Another player on the Celtics that I think is a good buy is Jaylen Brown. From everything that I hear, everyone thinks he's super overlooked. He's putting up similar numbers to Tatum, just not as popular, which again could mean that he's not as great of a buy. But right now his prisms are only sitting at $60 a piece, and his PSA 10s are sitting around $450 to $500 a piece. So those are the 4 teams that I think are great buys from the East. Not really looking too much into the Sixers, not looking too much into the Nets, not looking too much into the Pacers. The Magic in this? Yeah, and I'm also not looking at the Magic very much. Again, just because I didn't mention a player, didn't mention a team, does not mean that you should not look at that player or team as an investment. So now let's move on to the West. So just right off the bat, I think the West has a lot better teams and players to invest in right now, a lot more opportunities. But again, that's just my personal opinion. So we're going to start at the top. We're going with the Lakers. I think LeBron is an absolute amazing investment choice for the 2020 playoffs, especially his 2019 rookie card. I've been collecting these a little bit. It's his first basketball card in a Lakers uniform. I think these cards are going to absolutely skyrocket if they win the championship. Right now they're going for about $65 ungraded and about $500 as a PSA 10. If you have the money, I'd also look into his actual rookie cards. I think those are also going to go up quite a bit in value if they win the championship, even though they are very pricey right now. I think 80 is another good investment. He does have the 2012 Prism rookie card, which is the first year the Prism came out with rookie cards. So that adds a little bit of extra value to his card. And he's been playing really, really well lately, so I think 80 is another really good investment choice. All right, moving on to the next team, we're going to go over the Dallas Mavericks. Everyone knows that Luke is a great investment choice. He's incredibly popular as a player. He's been playing really well. I personally don't know if they're going to make it out of the first round against the Clippers. But regardless, I think his card's going to go up in value no matter what. Everybody absolutely loves him. He's been playing incredibly well. I think he led the NBA in triple doubles this year. Right now, I don't have his prices on me right now. I think they're going for like 500 raw, and I know they're going for over 2,000 as a PSA 10. I'm assuming that his raws are up to like 500 now, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Luke is a great investment choice if you have the money for him. All right, next up we're going to go over the Clippers. I think Paul George and Kawhi are both great investments. Clippers have a good shot to make it to the finals if they can get past the Lakers. The interesting about the Clippers is that Paul George doesn't have a true rookie card. I think his rated rookie is the card that people are going to go forward thinking as his rookie card. But that puts a lot of potential out there for people because I think his rated rookie is really cheap right now. If you have money to spend, if you want to gamble a little bit, take a guess at what you think his rookie card is going to be, because if they do make it far and he plays really well, Paul George's prices are going to increase a lot. Also, Kawhi Leonard is a great choice. His Prism rookie is very, very expensive. I'm not going to go over that because I don't have any on hand, but I do have, it's just a 2012 Panini card number 216 if you're interested. I bought a lot of 5 of these last summer for like $40 total for all 5 of them. I think they're going for like 50 a piece now and up to like 400 as PSA 10s. So just know that if you're not buying someone's rookie card, there are alternative investments, and I think that Paul George and Kawhi really highlight that. Next up, we got the Nuggets. The Nuggets have 3 really good investment choices. One of them is Michael Porter Jr. Everyone's raving about him right now. Even if he doesn't play well, I think just because he's so popular, his prices are going to go up. Right now, his prisms are sitting at 75 to 80 ungraded and up to $400 as a PSA 10. He's been playing really well the first 8 seeding games, and I think he's going to continue to play well, and his prices will increase. Next up, we have Nikola Jokic, 2015 rookie. There's not a huge market for big men in the NBA, so it makes me a little bit nervous to invest in Jokic, but he's a really great player. His prism rookies are going for $80 a piece right now, ungraded, and up to $580 as PSA 10, so I think he's a great choice. And then Jamal Murray is another great investment from the Nuggets. I already watched his game today against the Jazz. He went off, especially in overtime, at the end of the fourth quarter in overtime. I think they've gone up since then, but his 2016 Prism rookies were sitting at $50 to $60 before the game today, and now they're at about $80, and they're about $600 as a PSA 10. So I think he's going to continue to lead the team, and I think his prices will go up a lot if the Nuggets can make it very far. Next up, we have the Thunder. The Thunder had a 0.2 chance to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season. They proved everyone wrong. They're sitting at the 4th seed, I think, maybe the 5th seed. I think the 4th seed right now. Playing very, very well, great chemistry, and I think Chris Paul is leading everyone. I think his prices are very undervalued right now. I think they're only sitting at like $100, $120 a piece. It is a Topps rookie card, an old rookie card, so you have to be careful if you're buying raw because they're probably not in the best position. They're probably not in the best condition. But I think Chris Paul is a great investment. I also think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a great investment. I have his Optic right here and a Prism Silver right here. Currently, Shai's cards are sitting at $30 to $40 raw and about $3.85 as a PSA 10. He does make me a little bit nervous just because he seems to be very, very popular, but his prices are very, very slowly increasing. And I feel like popularity is driving card prices more than anything right now, more than performances. He does seem to be a very, very popular investment choice among investors, but his prices have been sitting around $15, $20, and now $30 to $40 a piece for quite a while now. So that does make me a little bit nervous. And lastly, from the West, we have the Jazz. I think Donovan Mitchell's a great investment choice. I have his Prism right here. I bought about 15 of these in April for about $20 a piece. Now they're sitting at $90 to $100 a piece ungraded, and they're sitting at about $550 to $600 as a PSA 10. Again, I watched the game between the Jazz and the Nuggets today. He had like 57 points. They did lose, but he played extremely well. I think he's a great player. I think he's undervalued. I think he'd be a great investment choice for the playoffs. Hopefully they can make it past the Nuggets though. Alright guys, so I hope you found this video informative. The whole point was to show you guys a little bit of how I go about finding different players to invest in. Like I said, I typically go for the teams first, and I can see what teams are going to be playing well or what teams are very good, or I think in this case have a good chance of making it far in the playoffs, and then I find the players on those teams that I think would be good to invest in. Just make sure that you're doing your own research and that you're having fun doing it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below who you're going to be investing in this year's playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.